Hello, people of the world. Hi, my name is Michael Kane, and I'm playing Simon Podsednik in this wonderful play called The Suicide.
Yeah. So what brought you to Suicide?
Well, you did, Tim. Let's see, that was way back, almost a year ago now. I think you sent me this script, and I read it, and I was like, yes. Sign me up.
It's one of the funniest plays I've ever read and heard read. It's because the basic joke of making a play about whether or not somebody's going to commit suicide, it's so dark, and it's like, how can that possibly be funny? And yet it really does flip this thing on its head and asks us to examine it from the point of view of somebody who's...
Simon is the lead, and I like playing the lead. Simon, he draws, because in many ways I feel like I have felt like Simon in the past and will in the future. How come then, if this play is so freaking great, how come I've never heard of it?
Right. Well, because because it's so funny. It's amazing to me. It's so good. It touches on so many things, so many different forms, so much funny.
Right. It's hilarious. I mean, it was, like you said, it's one of the funniest plays I've ever read.
It was written in 1927 in Russia. It was never performed until the 90s because it got censored several different times. Meyerhold originally wanted to produce it, then he got it shut down after 18 months of rehearsals. Stanislavski wrote to Stalin and said, please let him produce it, it's really important. And Stalin said sure, and then they rehearsed, and the night before the opening, like the final preview, essentially, some state councilor came and said, no, you can't possibly do it. And it was never performed in Russia until the 90s. So it wasn't well known there. It got smuggled out. There actually have been 2 productions on Broadway, but it sort of speaks, the original play speaks to a communist society in 1927. So it feels a little creaky, it feels a little dated. Until you update the politics and update the circumstances to a contemporary, which is what we've done. So I'm hoping to really introduce this to the world.
Watching a lot of your friends and a lot of my friends and some people that we'd never met before come into this room and do their versions of these sides that you had given them. It was very humbling, actually, because there's so many talented people that are drawn to this, and I think that's a testament to how amazing this play is. Because when it's a really great play, and when it's an amazing piece, people are drawn to it, and I feel like that's what happened in this room in the last couple days. So I'm really, really excited to go for a place of wanting to end my life to fighting for my life, and in such a funny way too. So yeah,
I think that is very true of just about every character in this play. That they all feel desperate, and that there's nobody's listening, and nobody cares. And what's wonderful about this piece ultimately, and reading it, hearing it aloud, auditioning with it, is the sense of bonding and community that comes out of it, that these people really do find each other through this extremity. They really find, what do we hold most sacred? You know?
Yeah, and I'd like to take that idea and bring it to what we're doing as artists. We're like, you're running this thing on peanuts, you know what I mean? Like everyone who's coming into the room is doing it for the love of it.